I'm Guy Cook. I've been practicing law for more than 30 years. I'm a trial lawyer. I try lawsuits. I defend people who have been sued, and I represent people who are suing. I also, because I spent 5 years as a federal prosecutor, assistant U.S. attorney, I do selective criminal defense work, mostly white collar at the federal level or white collar at the state court level. And 100% of my work is litigation. We were talking earlier, I have, I don't know, somewhere in the neighborhood of 105 open matters in litigation, whether it be civil or criminal matters. And I practice in the law firm of Grief in Sydney. I had the good fortune of having tutelage under Ross Sidney, who in his day was a great trial lawyer as well. And before that, of course, I was a federal prosecutor and had the great experience and good fortune of working under Richard Turner, Dick Turner, the former Attorney General of the state of Iowa and then U.S. Attorney. And I was hired as the token Democrat. He joked to put me in charge of prosecuting the Democrats, since a lot of those positions are political appointments, although the line prosecutors are not. It was made in good humor. But I had a great experience there in trying lawsuits and had the opportunity to get a lot of combat time, which led to my private practice. And before that, I worked for Justice Jerry Larson, J.L. Larson from Harlan, longest serving Iowa Supreme Court Justice. And that was my first job out of law school, was law clerk for Jerry Larson, who's a great man and a great judge, and often said, just because I have all this power, referring to his power as a Supreme Court Justice, doesn't mean I have to use it. And so he's a great student of the law and understands the role of judges, and I was really lucky to get that job out of law school and have the opportunity to work with him and learn how the court works and learn from his many years of experience. Now I practice here at Grief in Sydney, and it's a great place. We're about 25 or 26 lawyers, primarily litigation oriented, and we practice all over the state. A couple of years ago we moved our office from a location we had for about 20 years on Grand Avenue right next to the governor's mansion to the then up and coming East Village, and it was a great move. We're here at 500 East Court. We're the lawyers on court, and we're right across from the Bar Association, which will be a handy thing for me as opposed to some of the other great bar leaders who may have had to travel from Decorah or Davenport or Sioux City or some other place. I'm right across the street. I'm from Des Moines, born and reared on the south side of Des Moines. Went to St. Anthony's Catholic grade school. Back then they were talking about building a new Dowling. That shows why I have the gray hair, because Dowling's been around a long time on the west side of Des Moines, but back then they were talking about moving the school from the central city to what was then the edge of town, 8th Street, where Dowling was a gravel road at that time, and so it was too far to go for a young fellow from the south side, and so I went to Lincoln High, graduated from Lincoln High, and was active on the wrestling team there and other things. And then I attended the University of Iowa, which is a great school, go Hawkeyes, and studied political science and philosophy at the University of Iowa. Although my first year there at the university I was an art major, and I had a scholarship to attend another university in art and chose not to, but I studied that for a while at the university and then switched to political science with an idea towards going to law school. And I applied to only one law school, Drake University. I knew I wanted to come back to Des Moines, and I had the opportunity to work in the law school in Iowa City as an undergrad, which was a great advantage when I started law school, because I knew when we were reading those case books and there might be 2 pages of a case that was just an excerpt, and that I could go to the library and look up the case and read the headnotes, which is not something a first semester law student learns until he finishes research and writing. So that was a great experience. But I came back to Drake because of their reputation of being focused on producing real lawyers, trial lawyers, their great clinical program. And I had the opportunity when I was at Drake to work in the Polk County Attorney's Office as a student and actually tried jury cases while I was in law school. Tremendous experience, gave me a real leg up in pursuing the trial practice. I have married 2 children. My daughter Meredith recently graduated from Providence College, where she studied political science and business, and she's taking a year off before she commences her further studies, whether it be law school or business school, and she's working in Boston. My son John, who's graduated from Roosevelt, was a wrestler there on the wrestling team, had some health challenges, recently had a kidney transplant, and that's delayed his efforts to go to college, but he hopes to pick that up soon. In the meantime, he's working for the Iowa Cubs, which is a great experience for him, and loves the Cubs, whether it be the Iowa Cubs or the Chicago Cubs, diehard fan. My wife Cindy, we've been married more than 25 years, and we live south of Grand in Des Moines in a historic district, Owl's Head Historic District, in a house that was built in 1896. I like to fish. I have a boat. I like to cruise the Des Moines River on my boat. I like to go fishing, both here freshwater fish and saltwater fishing. I have a good client friend who takes me out, and we've done a lot of deep sea fishing. Recently I've got back into hunting some and been hunting with him as well. We went duck hunting this winter, had a great time. I'm kind of a car nut, and I like to collect cars and clean cars and oogle at cars, and I have several cars I've collected, and have a kind of a man cave garage at home where I have some of my cars. And I like to read. I am also a golfer, although some people might question that. I belong to the Wakanda Country Club in Des Moines and another club out of state, and like to golf as much as I can. It's a great exercise, and I like to walk and enjoy the game. Those are some of the things that I do, and I'm thinking about getting into biking, which I know a lot of people my age have gotten into biking lately. Well, first of all, I'd like to leave it in a better shape than where I found it, or in a better condition than when I found it, in some small way, contribute to advancing the Bar Association, which we have a great Bar Association, great staff, and I've said earlier, we really outperform our assets. There's a great group of people there, and until you get in the inside as part of bar leadership or on the Board of Governors, you don't fully appreciate that. They're great people, they're doing good work. But I'd like to focus on our members. I'd like to make sure that we take care of our members. I'd like to make sure that we enhance and expand and publicize the benefits that are available to our members. I'd like to focus on protecting and promoting our profession. It's a great profession. Our profession is a noble and honorable one, and I'd like to focus on protecting it, promoting it. And then I'd also like to, as we always have done as a Bar Association, support the judiciary as needed. But one of my real focuses is with the changing practice of law, and dealing with that and dealing with those changes as it relates to our members, and also being concerned about the next generation of lawyers, where the next group of lawyers are coming from, the next members of the bar, where are they coming from, how can we help them, putting the ladder down for those people. I think it's tremendously important that we recognize those needs and nurture and bring along the next generation of lawyers. So I'm lucky in that I enjoy being a lawyer, and I'm passionate about the work. It's a profession that I've really enjoyed, and I continue to enjoy. I'm proud to be an Iowa lawyer. I'm proud to be around lawyers, and proud to be a trial lawyer. A lot of folks that do trial work in the past have sort of run away from that description of trial lawyer. And some groups have even changed their names. They're not called the Iowa Trial Lawyers anymore. They're called the Iowa Association for Justice, which is a great name. But I'm proud to be an Iowa lawyer. I'm proud to be an Iowa trial lawyer, and I'm passionate about the work. And I guess I'm lucky in that respect that it's a profession that has served me well.